Forgive me, I'm going to use nouns if that's okay, because unlike my friends, I'm a very emotional person. I was accused of teaching at touchy-feely stuff, so I'm going to be short, but I'm going to use my notes. So. How the hell are you? That's what Barb said to me every phone call. Okay? Whether I called her or she called me, it was, how the hell are you? And then she'd say, and how's my boy? That's my son who's 34. Okay, Bryson. And then she'd ask, and how's my girl? And that's Brooke. And then the last, my granddaughter's 18 months, she'd say, and how's your little grandbaby? That's Barbara. Okay? Barbara was always checking in, always making sure that everybody else was good and everybody else was cared for. God, I missed that one. Barbara was one of the first people who welcomed me to Palm Beach Community College in 1988. She quickly became my friend. She quickly became my mentor. Simply, she was just someone who I absolutely loved and adored. Yes, Barbara was funny, and she was brilliant. Barbara loved the college. Barbara loved the students. Barbara was a real deal. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. Barbara was always authentically Barbara, always. She spoke her mind always, and she used her voice for those. So I have two quick stories, one that Carrie alluded to. A little more information, because it was my student. It's okay. It's okay. So two groups I was part of with Barb. We were part of a group called Hot Topics. Carrie was there. Ted. Leonie. A guy named Joey Brownlee, who was a student and a professor, and now he's a dean. And so myself. I think Jesse was part of it for a while. So anyway, there's a big crew. And as you said, one topic that we covered was homelessness. It was probably the one that was nearest and dearest to all of us. And we literally had a panel of students who spoke, who were homeless. And one of those students was my student. Her name was Natalie. And after Barb heard her story, she knocked on my office door the next day. And she had an envelope with $3,000 in cash. I said, Barb, what is this? She said, I want Natalie to have this. And she said, but I don't want Natalie to know that it's from me. And I said, well, what, you want to think it's from me? I don't know $3,000. And she said no, but she said, I want her to know that there's people who care and there's people who believe in her. Natalie, Robin Fiedler's not here, but Natalie was her student as well. She was an amazing writer. Unfortunately, you don't know this, Natalie passed away of a brain tumor. So as I was thinking what I wanted to say, hey Barb, hey Natalie, are you guys, I don't know what it's all about later, but are you guys there watching us now? But two really good people. And then the second example, during the pandemic, I decided I really wanted to start a book club. And I wanted it to be important. And one of the first people I thought of course, was Barb. We wanted to talk about issues of social justice. Patty was part of the book club. Leonie was part of the book club. Of course, Barb was. Joanne Cameron, who's not here today, who wanted to be here today. My family members were part of the book club. Friends of mine were part of the book club. I think Idell McLaughlin came in once in a while. There were a bunch of us. So mostly we focused on racial inequality. Black Lives Matters was going on, so we read a lot of books about racial inequality. We also did some work on gay rights and on women's rights. And we got into it. Yeah, it was great. It really, as many of us said, it got us through the pandemic. We got to see each other. I do have to say this was funny. Carol could attest to this. Barb showed up almost every time upside down in a camera. And she would go, Carol, can you come in and turn me up? She wanted to be there desperately. It was funny. I remember one night she stayed upside down the whole time, and we were like, you can just go off camera, Barb. But the thing I remember about all of it wasn't each discussion, but I remember every single time Barb regaled us with her stories. And her stories for her fight during the 1970s, her fight for racial equality, her fight for women's rights. And one of the things she kept saying every time was, but we took care of this. We fought for this. Why are we still fighting this? And she was frustrated, but she was hopeful. And I know she would still be hopeful today. And so I want to finish with this. I know all y'all are going, keep politics out of it, Naylor. Okay? But Barb doesn't want me to keep politics out of it. She would say, speak up. Vote. I'm not going to tell you to vote for. Barb would. Okay? But when you go vote, think of Barb, okay? Vote as if your life depends on it, because it does. I love Barbara Jean Scheffer so much, and I miss her so much.